Margaret, Total Research Associates has done a survey on employment in Bermuda in this, COVID-19 pandemic environment. Can you tell us what the results were?
Yep, we've been tracking the level of employment, both full-time, part-time, self-employment, and then those people who've experienced layoffs or are not currently employed. And we saw really high numbers of people employed in March. And unfortunately, with the pandemic, there's been a real impact on full-time employment. It dropped 8 points in between March and April. And in June, when we most recently collected data, it was down to 59% of the population working full-time. And I think what was also startling when we asked these questions around employment was the number of people who've been affected financially. It's probably not a surprise, but we were able to quantify the effects. And 40% of the population indicated that they're using their savings to meet financial obligations. A third of the population said that they had their hours reduced at work. A third said that they had had a reduction in their salary or pay, and a quarter had had a layoff. And then on top of that, 2 in 10 said that they were worried that they might lose their job or their income in the next few weeks if things don't change. So I think that altogether paints a really serious picture about some of the financial and economic impacts of the pandemic on the population. We asked as well about debt and the amount of concern that people had around debt, and also around people's spending habits. We calculate what's called a consumer confidence index. We've been doing that for over 20 years at Total, and it has gone into a huge decline. And that's an economic indicator that kind of predicts where things are going to go in the economy, how likely people are to make a big purchase, where they see the island's economy, and also how they feel about their own household finances. And that's actually hit a record low. So altogether, I think these indicators tell us that there's a lot of people that are struggling, and there's been some real impacts from the pandemic. We asked people what the single most positive thing to come out of this strange period might be. And 82% of people were able to give us an answer of something that had come from the pandemic that was positive. And so that's really great to hear. And they told us things like 31% of them were able to spend more time with family and friends. And they're talking about a relaxing, slower pace of life, more appreciation and gratitude for life, improved health, healthier lifestyle, and even being able to have a little more free time or free time for hobbies. When we asked people what the single biggest issue facing the island was, they talk about the economy. And so I think those financial concerns that we were talking about really are at the forefront of people's minds.